There are moments in life when everything shifts without warning. Not gradually, not politely, just suddenly. A phone call, a letter, a conversation that changes the air in the room, and right after that there's this strange silence, like your life is still the same on the outside, but inside, something has moved. Maybe someone left, maybe a job ended, or the plan you were building your week around dissolved. Maybe your body gave you a new piece of information you didn't ask for. Maybe your home feels too quiet now. Maybe you did everything right, and still, life turned. And the mind does what it always does in moments like this. It starts asking questions like it's trying to hold the world together. Why now? Why this way? Why me? If that's where you are today, confused, tired, carrying a weight you can't fully name, this is a gentle place to land for a few minutes. Not to force meaning, not to pretend it doesn't hurt, just to breathe and look at the pain in a different light. In Buddhism, there's a simple way of seeing life that doesn't require anyone to believe anything. It's more like a lens, a way to notice what makes the heart tighten and what helps it soften. And one of the first things that lens points to is something we all learn eventually, whether we want to or not. Life changes. People change. Plans change. Bodies change. Even the version of you that once felt so sure changes. That's not a failure. That's not a punishment. That's the nature of life. And yet, knowing that doesn't automatically make it easier. Because when change arrives, the mind doesn't just notice it, the mind fights it. It reaches for control, for explanations, for something solid to stand on right now. And here's the hard truth that many of us meet in midlife or later. Control can feel like safety, but it often comes with a hidden cost. It can cost sleep. It can cost peace. It can cost softness. It can turn the heart into a clenched fist. Maybe you felt that exhausting loop where you replay conversations, rewrite decisions, imagine different outcomes, try to predict the next blow before it lands. The mind thinks, if I can understand this fast enough, I can stop the pain. But clarity rarely arrives while we're still inside the storm. Clarity tends to come later, when the heart settles, when time has passed, when the pieces start to reveal what they were forming all along. So for now, what if the goal isn't to solve it? What if the goal is to notice what's happening inside you right in this moment? Just for a second, notice the body. Is the jaw tight? Are the shoulders lifted? Is the stomach bracing? No fixing, no judging, just noticing. Because this is where Buddhist wisdom gets very practical. It suggests that pain is real, but suffering is what happens when we add resistance on top of pain. Pain is the event, suffering is the tightening. Pain says, something changed. Suffering says, this should not have changed. And the strange thing is, that second layer can be heavier than the first. So let's try a small image. Imagine holding water in your hand. If you squeeze your fist, the water slips through. The tighter you grip, the faster it escapes. But if you relax your hand, not fully open, not letting everything go, just relaxed enough, the water can rest there. Sometimes life is like that. We hold on because we care. We hold on because we're afraid. We hold on because we don't want to lose what mattered. And there's nothing wrong with caring. There's nothing wrong with loving. There's nothing wrong with grieving. But the tightness, the desperate gripping, that's where the heart starts to suffer. This is the moment in the story where many people think they're failing. They say, why can't I be stronger? Why can't I handle change like other people? Why am I still stuck on this? But maybe strength isn't what we've been taught it is. Maybe strength isn't keeping everything together. Maybe strength begins when we finally admit, I don't know how to control this, and we let that be true, without shame. There's an old image in nature that I love for this. Winter. In winter, the branches are bare. The ground looks still. The whole world can look like it stopped living. But underneath that silence, something is happening. Roots go deeper. Energy gathers. Life prepares. Winter isn't punishment. It's a season. Some seasons of your life feel like winter. A retirement you didn't expect to feel lonely. A relationship ending in a way that makes you question your worth. A move, a loss, a diagnosis, a shift in finances, and suddenly you don't recognize the life you're standing in. From the outside, it can look like nothing is happening, but inside, something is rearranging. Not always comfortably, not always gently, but deeply. In the Buddha's own life story, before awakening, there was also a winter. Not a winter of weather, a winter of the heart. He saw sickness, aging, death. He saw that life can't be held still, and that realization didn't feel like inspiration at first. It felt like disruption, like the ground moving under his feet. And for many of us, that's where spiritual life actually begins. Not in a temple, not in a perfect morning routine, but in the moment when life stops cooperating with our plans. So what do we do with that? Here's a gentle shift that can change everything. Not overnight, but slowly. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" a question that can feel like a locked door, we begin to wonder, what is this showing me? What am I holding on to? What is life asking me to release, even a little? Not because pain is good, not because loss is meant to happen, not because everything is secretly wonderful, but because meaning doesn't always arrive as an explanation. Sometimes meaning arrives as a transformation. Sometimes something breaks, and it breaks us open. Let's bring this into real life, into the world you and I actually live in. Think about the financial crisis in 2008. So many people watched the ground shift beneath them. Jobs disappeared, savings shrank, plans that felt stable suddenly felt fragile. And regardless of the details, regardless of who was responsible or what the headlines said, for millions of ordinary people, it was personal. It wasn't a news story. It was fear at the kitchen table. It was waking up at 3 a.m. It was the feeling of, I did everything right and it still isn't safe. Some people never fully recovered financially. Some had to start over later than they expected. Some lost homes. Some lost confidence. And yet, if you talk to people who lived through it, you'll often hear something honest and quiet. It changed them. It made them simpler. It made them less interested in appearances. It made them more careful with what they chase. It made them more tender toward others who are struggling. Not because the pain was worth it, but because human beings, when we survive something, we don't stay the same. And sometimes, years later, someone will say, I wouldn't wish it on anyone, but it taught me what really mattered. That's the kind of meaning Buddhism points toward. Not meaning as a guarantee, not meaning as a slogan, but meaning as a quiet unfolding, like time revealing what pain hides. Now, here's something important, especially for those of us who have loved deeply, lost deeply, carried a lot. Letting go does not mean becoming cold. Letting go isn't flipping a switch. It's not waking up one day and suddenly not caring. Letting go is often a slow loosening, a gentle unclenching. You can release and still love. You can move forward and still feel gratitude. You can stop gripping without erasing what it meant. The world sometimes confuses healing with numbness. But numbness isn't peace. Numbness is armor. Real letting go is softer. It says, I honor what this meant. I learned from it. I grew through it. And now, I allow life to move. There's another image from nature. Autumn. A tree doesn't rip its leaves off in anger. It doesn't call itself a failure for changing. It just reaches the season where holding on would take more energy than releasing. And so it lets the leaves drift. Not in rejection, in trust. So if you're in a season where something is falling away, a relationship, a role, a plan, a version of yourself, It doesn't automatically mean your life is falling apart. Sometimes life is clearing space. Sometimes what looks like collapse is actually release. And that release, as painful as it is, can be the beginning of real freedom. Not dramatic freedom, not movie scene freedom. The quiet kind. The kind that feels like an exhale you've been holding for years. And that brings us to a different definition of trust. Trust is not believing everything will be perfect. It's not pretending you won't be hurt again. Trust is something simpler and more mature. Whatever comes, I can meet it.
One step, one breath, one honest moment at a time. If life feels uncertain right now, there's an invitation here. Not an instruction, just an invitation. Maybe tonight, meaning doesn't need to be solved. Maybe answers don't need to arrive on demand. Maybe the heart can rest for a moment in not knowing. Because sometimes the most healing sentence isn't "everything happens for a reason." Sometimes the most healing sentence is "not everything makes sense yet, but not everything is meaningless." Before we close, let's take one more breath together. And as you breathe out, see if there's even one place in your body that can soften 1%. Not because you're giving up, not because you're approving of what happened, just because you deserve a moment of peace inside the moment you're living. If something in you is still grieving, let it grieve. If something in you is still angry, let it be honest. If something in you is tired, let it rest. None of that means you're failing. It means you're alive. And if you're walking through a chapter that feels like winter, maybe it helps to remember, beneath the silence, roots are growing. Thank you for spending these minutes with me. And if you want to leave a simple intention, just a small seed, you can whisper it to yourself as you go. I can take the next step. Or I don't have to grip so hard. Not perfect, just softer. Until next time, may your heart feel a little more spacious. May your breath feel a little more yours. And may life reveal its meaning at the pace you can truly hold.